I don't know about you, but I happen to be really particular about bottle design when it comes to fragrances. I not only want to have an amazing experience with the juice, I also want to have a beautiful experience when I'm taking the bottle out and using it. I want it to be a ritual, I want it to be an experience. And that's why the bottle design is so critical for me when it comes to the fragrances that I wear and love in my collection. And I have here some affordable niche fragrances that have beautiful bottle designs. These are not just fragrances I've seen a photo of and I'm like, this is an amazing bottle design. These are fragrances that I've tried, that I've worn, and I can tell you from using and wearing these bottles in person that these are some exceptionally beautiful fragrances. So I'm excited to share them with you. If you're new to my channel and you haven't seen my face before, hello, my name is Anya. I love perfumes. I talk about them here 5 times a week. I also post content on other social media platforms under the username ANECHKAFRAGRANCES. If you're interested in learning more about fragrances, I have a podcast called The Fragrance Report. We release a new episode every single Wednesday on Spotify. So, I did a video. I think I've done like a few videos where I talked about ugly fragrance bottles, okay? And I kind of just like went down the list and I shared some images of fragrance bottles that I wasn't too much of a fan of. I think you guys enjoyed that one, and then someone suggested that I do an affordable or like a beautiful bottle version. So I did an affordable, beautiful bottle version of that video. So I talked about some really beautiful fragrances that were under $50 but had exceptional bottle design. And here I have some fragrances that are a little bit more expensive. These are still like around the 200 below mark. Most of these fragrances are right around $100, and they all are beautiful in terms of the bottle design, the experience, the presentation, and the juice inside. I think if you're going to spend your money on something, you should be able to enjoy all of it. And I definitely believe when it comes to something like fragrance, which is a luxury purchase, we should have a luxury experience. And that's the inspiration that started this kind of video series, so to speak. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these things, and that's what I really look for. So if you're interested in seeing some really beautiful bottle designs, then continue watching this video. Something I've really found the more I get into fragrances is sometimes what you see online, an image, is not going to be consistent with the experience that you get, or at the very least, your experience in person might be different than what you see online. I do think that the weight, the materials, the feel of these fragrances plays a critical role in the general overall experience. A lot of these perfumes I saw online, I was like, oh, okay, they look nice. But then when I got them in person, I was like, okay, this is some really beautiful design, and this is something that brings me joy and that piques my interest whenever I'm using these fragrances. I think I want to start off with a fragrance that I've had in my collection for a short period of time, but I've quickly fallen in love with this. And I've spoken about this a few times before, but I really want to take this opportunity to just geek out on the bottle design here because I think it's beautifully done. And honestly, the pictures online, they're beautiful, but they do not do it justice because I want to talk to you about the experience that I have holding this bottle, experiencing the scent in person. So this is Arquiste, and this is A Grove by the Sea. Arquiste is a fragrance house that has been getting more and more notoriety online, so I was familiar with their bottle design. This is like kind of the standard that you see in all their fragrances, but when I actually got a chance to try these fragrances in person, I was really appreciative of the weight of these bottles. It's a really like nice heavy weight. This is like a, good quality looking glass. The text is nice and crisp. It's, like I said, a good material. And then the cap itself is weighted, which I do appreciate. And it clicks on rather nicely. And then the atomizer is a beautiful mist. So these are details that might seem a little bit superficial to some, but they're details I appreciate. And then on the top of the cap, you have the A for Arquiste. So again, this is a luxury experience that befits a luxury fragrance. So this is something I very much appreciate. So this next brand is interesting because they actually provide a different bottle design depending on what kind of pricing you want to pay for. I'm talking about Chabaud, and this particular fragrance is Mon Tiramisu, but this bottle design is standard across their fragrance line. So this is a fragrance that is priced around like the $100 mark. And initially when I got introduced to the brand, I saw this bottle, but then it had like this plastic cap on the top. I'll flash a picture of what that looks like on the screen right now, but that's actually a bottle design that they do still have. But if you're interested in paying, I think like 10 euros more, you can get this gold cap on top. Now, personally, again, I might sound superficial, but I really prefer this kind of bottle design. I would be happy with paying a little bit more money if it's going to look like this because, again, this is a nice weight. The cap is nice and weighted. I don't think it's magnetized, but it fits very securely. And this is the kind of thing that would look beautiful on anyone's dressing table. So again, this is one of those examples that if you are willing to pay a little bit more in terms of pricing, you can get this kind of like more premium looking bottle design. But if you're just interested in the juice, you don't have to pay for essentially like the bottle cap, and you can pay for something a little bit more affordable. So I do like that. I think that's a really good way to cater towards a few different preferences, which I do appreciate. This bottle was sent to me, but again, this is an affordable niche brand, so I do like this fragrance a lot. It's kind of like a milky lactonic tiramisu scent. And by the way, a Grove by the Sea is more like an aromatic olivey fig fragrance that dries down into this like beautiful creamy olive oil type scent, which I love. But yeah, some beautiful fragrances with beautiful bottle designs. So next up is Milano Fragranze, and I bought this bottle myself. And something that has always really impressed me has been the bottle design for Milano Fragranze compared to the price that they charge per unit. This is under $200. It's a really affordable line, and you can even get some of their fragrances for even less than $100, I think at some discounters, which is really amazing. But these fragrances are not only beautiful in terms of the juice, but the bottle design is absolutely stunning. I love the blue and gold design. And if you look at the cap, there is a beautiful, like, I think this is like a crest or something. There's some detail on this that really elevates this fragrance. And I remember being at the Milano Fragranze booth at Essence last year, and I was talking with a fellow creator, and we were kind of just geeking out about how beautiful the bottle designs were. And it really is quite impressive when you look at the price point and then you look at the quality and the craftsmanship of the actual bottles themselves. It's a nice weight. The presentation is also really beautiful as well. And yeah, in general, I'm obsessed. Okay, so next is a kind of classic. This is Acqua Allegoria by Guerlain. Of course, they have a variety of different options when it comes to their bottle design, but I'm talking specifically about the Acqua Allegoria line with the signature Guerlain honey theme with the bee on top of the cap and like the honeycomb cage look. And I will say, before I get into the details of this, I instantly am noticing a difference when it comes to this bottle and the general feel of it, and then some of the other bottles. For example, the one I just talked about, Milano Fragranze. This already, I mean, yes, the size difference is a little bit different. I will say that. Let's see if, yeah, okay. These are kind of similar. So this is Chabaud's Mon Tiramisu. This is Guerlain. So already the weight kind of feels different. This just feels like more hefty and more solid, and this feels a little bit more lightweight. I think this is definitely glass, I believe, but the caps are different. So this is a lightweight plastic. I mean, like, it's plastic on the inside, like it's very lightweight, like it's super lightweight. And then this is heavier. This feels like a better experience. This feels like a better experience than this, and this is, I think, around the same price. Yeah, this is definitely like around $100, so is this. So already the feeling is not my favorite, but the look I really do like. And also that's me being super nitpicky. Again, just because I'm being nitpicky doesn't mean I dislike a fragrance. It just means that I like to follow these details and I like to speak on these details in this kind of video. Obviously, if I was just reviewing this fragrance, I wouldn't tell you that the top is plastic. Like, that to me is probably not going to be relevant in that type of video. But since in this particular video, we're talking about the bottle design, that's what I'm going to get into. So there you go. But if we look at the detail of this, I really do love like the attention to detail and the kind of like signature Guerlain look, because the top of the cap has like this Guerlain bee, which is again signature for the brand, and then the top of the nozzle also has the Guerlain C or the Guerlain G on it. I can't spell. and I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. So yeah, that's a lot of detail. I know I cannot be the only one. If any of you can relate to like always like kind of paying attention to these details, please let me know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this. But I kind of like find it really, rewarding and super cool like when a bottle really looks beautiful. Especially if it's kind of a little bit more affordably priced. Like I'm not talking about hundreds of dollars. I'm just talking about like maybe 200 max. I do appreciate when some of those brands really pay attention to detail. Because yeah, I mean, like obviously if a brand is charging 500, the expectation is the bottle is going to also look really beautiful. But that's not always the case if we look at brands that charge beneath that. So when they do have really beautiful bottle design, I like to pay attention to that. Another bottle design that I want to talk about would be Une Nuit Nomade. Now, they have a few different bottles. I'm going to show the Extrait line in just a bit, but these are the regular fragrances. I purchased both of these with my own money back in the day before I ever started working with Une Nuit Nomade. But I love the bottle design. It's nice, simple, very elegant. And I will say the packaging looks like this. So this is the original box for sugar leather. I actually do keep the packaging for my niche fragrances. There are a variety of reasons for it. Number one, it just makes it easier to protect the fragrance. Also, when I'm transporting the fragrance, it just is easier to do it if it's already in the packaging that it was designed to be in. And I also enjoy to have it. I think when I first started my collection, I would keep the packaging for all my bottles. And then as my collection ballooned in size, it was less and less practical to do so. So right now I only keep the boxes for my niche fragrances. So this is the whole look for sugar leather. So let's see. Let me just put it back in here so you know what it's supposed to look like. So essentially when I'm storing this fragrance, I have it in this kind of look. So this is what it looks like. And then you just open it up and it looks like this. So the reason why I wanted to show the box is because they actually do have a discounted price available if you just want the bottle. So if you don't care about the box, then you don't have to pay as much. You can just pay for the bottle itself, and I don't know what that box or what it will come in, but it won't come in this, and you will actually pay a little bit less money. Again, if you don't care about the packaging, you just want the juice, you don't have to pay as much. You can just pay for the juice. But yeah, the options are there. Even when I was buying these fragrances, I just wanted to get the box. That was what I wanted, so that's what I got. So the bottle design is really simple, really chic, and then they have a sticker on the front. But then for the Extrait line, they have a kind of more elevated presentation. This is newer to them, so this is a box that I did receive in or this is a bottle that I did receive in PR, but this is their standard packaging for all these fragrances. This was when I started working with Une Nuit Nomade on a regular basis. But this is an example of the packaging they have for their elevated Extrait line, which I really do think is lovely. It's kind of hard to get into, but that's okay. So this is the design. This is the look of it. So this is the bottle. It's elevated. The cap is, I think, magnetized, and it's nice and heavy. It's an elevated look compared to this, obviously, but you're paying a little bit more money. So there are options available depending on your budget and depending on what's important to you. So I just wanted to spotlight that as well. So those are some really beautiful fragrances that I wanted to share with you. And again, what I really love is that a lot of these brands give options to their consumers. Whether you want the packaging or you don't want it, or you want maybe a different bottle design, there is an option available for you depending on your budget and your preferences and what you prioritize when it comes to your experience. So with that being said, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you want me to do more of these kinds of videos. I will continue to do them if you continue to be interested in these kinds of things. I know this is kind of niche. I don't really see a lot of other people talking about bottle design, and I understand it might not be important to that many people, but to me it's something that I really love and that I really geek out on. I find it really interesting. So if you want me to continue to do these videos, please let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching until the end. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye!